Hi, all. This is Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays, my special series on my journey with cancer. Well, I wasn't quite sure that I was going to be able to get this done today, and I know it's a bit late, but there just wasn't any way to shoot from inside the hospital. Uh, Poor Wi-Fi, almost no cell phone coverage, and just a lot of patients in and around me. So was able to get home this afternoon after the third day of stem cell harvest. And whew, it's been an exhausting go. I've had a lot of questions about, what stem cell harvest is and what it entails. And so I can offer this. Many of you have seen some of the photos I've posted, so you have a sense for it. It's a bit grisly, so I don't know how much to talk about it, but the process of apheresis, which is how they harvest the stem cells, is to place a catheter in your chest, and then while you're laying completely still, they actually remove the blood from your body, and it moves through a machine to take out the stem cells, and then it puts the blood back in. So I grossly underestimated the impact that that would have on me. I think in some ways, uh, they probably don't tell you too much about the process, um, probably to keep your anxiety lower, but it has been daunting. When I say grossly underestimated, I really mean underestimated how challenging it would be not only to endure the chemotherapy necessary to promote the growth of the stem cells and the release of the stem cells, but also to boost the immune system, and to get the body to do its thing. And it has just been incredibly exhausting. And so today I had to make a decision at the halfway mark whether or not to try to do another day, a fourth day. And I have been competitive my whole life, and our goal was 8 to 10 million stem cells, while only about 4 million are required for one transplant. Most oncologists, I think, who do this therapy want to ensure that they have enough for a second transplant just in case one is needed, in the years to come. Uh, just getting the apheresis catheter into the chest is not a fun process. So I was really struggling to make the decision. I found myself questioning below the surface, like, am I doing the right thing? What if I need those stem cells later? You know, do I really want to have another apheresis catheter installed? And I think the competitor, the warrior in me wanted to say, oh, just, suck it up, buttercup, and you can do another day of this. But after asking what I think were smart questions about the research and the percentage of people who need another transplant, and considering that we didn't have anything like this 10 years ago, what 5 or 10 more years might bring, I really had to listen to, so many of my friends and colleagues who've said, you have to remember that next week you are going to start to run a Centurion marathon. You are not just running, that 26.2. You're doing the 100-miler. Are you really capable at this point, as run down as you are, of doing that? And I really had to lean in and give it to my body and say, no. Like, I don't know that I'll get out of the bed in the next 2 days. I'm that exhausted. And I really have to respect that I've got to get my body restored to the extent that I can in order to undergo what is a much more aggressive chemotherapy next week, and then a transplant. And I had to just say, I think that we reached 6.5 million, and maybe it's not enough for two, but it's enough for one plus some reserve. And so I made the decision to come home this afternoon, and to try to give my body a chance to recuperate and to spend a little time with my children. And so that next week, this last leg of the journey, that I can give it my all, and that I can really trust that I'm doing the best in the process that I can, rather than just being competitive about the numbers. And I'm not sure, I have a lot of wisdom this week, so to speak. I didn't even know that if I could get this done today. I think, two things came through for me during this process. One was really about the process of surrender, the process of allowing myself to know that I could only do what I could do, and that I had to allow my body just to do its thing. I couldn't, beat it into doing anything more than that. And I found, another incredibly sweet piece that came through in that surrender. And at one point, I was in such incredibly excruciating pain. And I closed my eyes, and my grandfather came to me through the ethers, and he put his hands on my head. And within moments, the pain was gone. I wish he could have been there in a body. But each day, as I was talking to my body about what it needed to accomplish, like, okay, you got to give up your stem cells. This is important. I never set a number on it. I learned to let my competition go in that way. But every time I thought, I can't do this anymore, I just trusted that he would come to me. And he would come through that door, through that veil, and he would just put his hands on my head. And I felt better. And I am learning that I've got to call in my tribe. I've got to call in my ancestors. I've got to commit to the support of the tribe I have in all of you and in my friends and my few family members left. And that's what's going to make the difference. That's what I've got to trust in order to get through this next and last phase of this journey. So I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being part of my tribe, for supporting me and giving me your words of encouragement across the miles, across the pond. So many of you who've never even met me before, never even spoken to me on the phone, and just providing prayer and support and words of wisdom and encouragement, and quite a few of you having been through a similar process. So thank you so much for being part of my tribe. This is Wisdom Wednesdays, and this is Dr. Sage Breslin. I'm going to try to shoot from in front of the hospital next Wednesday before I am admitted. Stay tuned.